have the next startup in this section. I'd like to welcome on stage ND Interactive.
What are you feeling right now? Hello, I'm Tobias Devin, founder and CEO at ND Interactive, and I'm very proud to be here today to present a unique social game that offers you emotions, excitement, and real-time human interactions. We all want to live exciting experiences, exciting lives. Not just entrepreneurs, my mother, my neighbors, the man who sells me bread in the morning, we all deserve exciting lives. But life is real. Reality has constraints. Our jobs, our debts, where we live, what other people expect of us, and who they think we are. The web has always been a place for us to express ourselves and to connect with people in new ways. Do you remember the excitement that you felt when you chatted with someone anonymously on Yahoo in the 1990s for the first time? And the amazing buzz around Second Life when it proposed us the chance to be someone else. That promise made me dream, and it still does today. But it's not about text or 3D. What we want are real experiences with real people, real emotions in real time. And so we created Everfi to connect people online to access these exciting emotional experiences in a fun and anonymous way. And now, I'd like to take a trip with you into this emotional world and through the service that we've created for you. Let's have a look.
I'm supposed to be the bad guy, right?
Let's play now.
I'm in love with Venice.
Yeah, whatever. You're only here because my other girlfriend didn't make it.
Well, you've been miserable if you want. I'm having a great time.
Everfi. Let yourself go.
So in Everfi, you're transported, together with another person, from your real life into a moment full of emotion where you share a challenge with another person. Everfi is an online role-play game where you can live out a number of different situations by improvising a live dialogue and say things that you wouldn't dream of saying in real life. The games are short, lasting 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of each one, you can evaluate your partner. In Everfi, the only thing you need to do is speak. You just heard two people playing. Our biggest challenge was to make their experience immersive, for them to believe in their role play as they improvise their dialogue. Behind what they see on screen is a unique technology that we've built up over the last 2 years. Our voice technology listens to patterns in the dialogue and interprets them to influence facial expressions, body movements, and camera actions on screen. This makes Everfi a unique opportunity to express ourselves in emotional situations. It's a powerful blend between interactivity and cinematic content. The market potential for this is huge. Every day, worldwide, billions of people watch telenovelas, TV series, and cinema. In Everfi, we offer them the chance to become the protagonist in those exciting stories and create unique relationships with their game partners. This interaction has the potential to disrupt a number of industries. In social gaming, Everfi offers a great new user experience and a viral, scalable business model. Content licenses and social networks will reinforce our value proposition and help us to access large audiences worldwide. We're currently in private beta, but already thousands of people have enjoyed the Everfi experience. This shit really works. And soon it will work on any screen and via a freemium payment model. Our fantastic 12-person team is based in Paris, and we're currently seeking funding to scale the experience. We believe in a future of exciting, emotional interactions online. Everfi is the future of real-time social gaming. Thank you.
Thank you. So, who would like to? John, who I called Dan last time. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Or maybe I can call you Dan from now on.
I've been called a lot worse.
There you go. John, what would you think?
I feel like the man who turned down the Beatles from EMI, or whoever it was, because there's a bit of me that kind of goes, I just don't get this. So there must be some deep-seated psychology or notional idea that actually makes this work, because the idea that you can switch on and off emotions on a 2 or 3 minute game and go straight to anger or straight to passion or straight to something in such a short space of time. I mean, actors and actresses who do this every day of the week, it's a challenge for them to be able to switch into a mode. So there must be something that makes you believe, or you have proof points to demonstrate that this is possible.
Well, this is something that we've seen happen in the experience when we watch people play. Essentially, it's a conversation. It's a conversation that you agree to have with someone else on a situation which has possibly nothing to do with your real life. And once you've decided to have that conversation with someone and you hear their voice, you become part of that shared moment. And in a way, we want to suspend disbelief. We want to enter into that emotional realm. It's what we do with cinema. It's what we do with television. We propose a new way to do that with another person. And it is a kind of magic. It's almost physiological. But actually, it's very easy, and we've watched people do that who have nothing to do with acting, who wouldn't think of themselves as actors, and enjoy it a lot.
Ed, what do you think?
I feel like I'm having like a Second Life hangover. I mean, it would be interesting to see. I think I had the same initial reaction, and I mean, Second Life has a lot of baggage attached to it. So I think, as you do progress, you've got to totally thwart that from the beginning, because I mean that could just take you right down if people compare it to Second Life. It's interesting because if the consumer's reaction is what you say, then there could be that. I just didn't get from the presentation. I didn't get that magic.
Sure.
That you're talking about, and I think it would be very interesting. Who's your target consumer? Who do you think your target consumer is from what you've seen in the beta?
I think there are two things I'd like to respond to. First, considering Second Life, the fundamentally different proposition is that you go straight into a dialogue with someone else. It's the human contact which matters. It's not about creating avatars. Everything is there for you.
It could be married people having affairs. And
I think you've understood.
Right?
I think you've understood a lot. But it could be a lot of different situations. We offer fun things, scary things, sexy things. Actually, the audience is really very, very large. I mean, when I think about this, I always have the image of someone in Brazil, who watches Desperate Housewives or telenovelas, thinking, okay, now I'm going to live out this moment, and we'd like to offer, in fact, all audiences that would watch, that kind of content. This experience is a different way of interacting with those stories. The core audience is probably between 25 and 35 years old, connected, and the audiences which would watch those media.
Rohan.
It struck me as being a bit like a scripted game model airtime or chat roulette, which is kind of fun. I guess my question for you, I've got a few questions about sort of how it works. So you sign up, you go into the kind of portal, and you're given different scenarios, are you? I mean, how do you make sure, how much scripting is there within the scenario? How easy is it to kind of follow what's going on?
So the idea there is that you would say, well, I'd like to be in a situation where I'm gonna break up with my long-term partner. You know, that could be something which you want to do in a funny way. It could be a personal challenge, but that's right there. That's a situation we would offer you, and you'd say, actually, you know, I'd like to do that, or maybe someone else would invite you to do that, and you would have a role. So your goal in that situation would be maybe to be the bad guy and say, you know, I'm sorry, you think our relationship is going really well, but actually it's not. And then over 2 to 3 minutes, you would completely improvise how you would want to say that, and the person in front of you could say, well, what about the apartment we just bought together? And you'd say, well, actually, I've got lots of apartments around the world. That doesn't matter to me. So it's really how you want to play it. It's completely your dialogue, but you discover it in real time with another person. So I think the magic of it is in doing it, and we've seen it, and it's frankly it's amazing because it pushes people to be creative, to be generous, to interact with each other. In a very exciting new way, without the constraints of what we would call our real lives, but without having to go into a kind of Second Life-ish, I'm going to create an entire world for myself. The content for you is right there. We propose scenarios which are supposed to appeal to you, and you simply choose what you want.
And have you, some of the other questions here were about how people, you know, in the beta version have responded. I mean, do you have any sort of data on kind of users so far in this beta phase, average length of time using the service, repeat visits, and so on? Presumably, you must get some people that show up and are, you know, they're put into a scenario, and they don't really say very much, and you know.
Actually, we don't get that a lot. We don't get that a lot. In general, the conversations just flow on their own. We've had thousands of games which have been played already. And we're starting to see the first example of Everfi addicts who say, you know, I come back to play this every evening because, you know, it's a great way for me to pep up my evening and meet new people and try out new situations. So people are coming back to the service. We've only been online for just over a month. And our priority now is to reinforce our proposition. People are having great fun on it, but we want to make it even better, and then we want to scale it up.
I think that a demo of like an interaction between two people would be, that's what you definitely need to include that.
Well, I think what really should happen is you should come and test it out with us. Dare the Everfi experience.
I'm afraid I'd walk over the line.
Well,
that's what you should do.
We're going to have to meet each other on your service, I guess, because we have to leave it there. Thank you very much.
It'll be a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Andy Interactive. Okay. Up next is our third startup in this section. I'd like to welcome on stage Milanoki, please. Please welcome Milanoki.
Hi, I'm Tony, this is Dan. We're from Milanoki, and we want to tell you about Data Squasher. Our focus is mobile data control. To date, the responsibility for your quality of experience on your mobile is the mobile network operator. But there's a problem, and it's going to get worse. According to Cisco, even with 4G being rolled out, there are times and places where your mobile network capacity won't be enough to keep up with the demand from a growing number of devices and more of us accessing content-rich websites and apps. So the network operators have been introducing supply-side measures like network sharing, Wi-Fi offload, and network optimization, where images and video are compressed at peak times in heavy load locations. But even this isn't enough. The operators are making unlimited data plans a thing of the past, and data throttling is being imposed for those who exceed their data limits. The mobile experience is further tarnished as more people get hit with expensive bills from roaming or exceeding their data allowance. So for consumers and corporates alike, mobile data charges have become a significant expense. We're addressing this with Data Squasher. Data Squasher allows the user to compress, control, and report their own mobile data. In effect, we want to let the user take control of their own mobile experience, whether that user is a consumer or an enterprise. Data Squasher is a user-side data control and compression service where a personal control panel app on the phone pushes your preferences through our data compression servers. This is the personal control panel. Text is automatically compressed and the user can select the image and the image quality they want. They can switch off images or video and, if they wish, and we let them block ads or malicious website content. We'll also let them track their data usage with our comprehensive data reports. Data Squasher uses up to 90% less data, meaning lower data charges, faster downloads, fewer browsing timeouts, and longer battery life. Data Squasher will be available first on iOS, with Android, Symbian, and Windows Phone 7 coming too. We think this service has appeal to consumers, corporates, virtual network operators, and mobile network operators, and applies not only to the developed world, but emerging economies as well. We don't just think Data Squasher is an essential data-saving app. We think it's a disruptive economic proposition that has a novel idea of letting the customer control what they want to consume. So I'm going to let Dan now show you Data Squasher in action.
Okay, thanks Tony. I'll just switch over and attempt a live demonstration. Okay, so I've got Data Squasher installed on this iPhone here. As you can see, I've got all the various options enabled, and I've got my image quality set to low medium setting. So what does this mean to the end user? If I start with Google Maps, let's bring up a location here in London. So let's go to Pall Mall. As you can see, the maps load up extremely fast because we're compressing all of that data. If I zoom in, you can see the quality is still there. And in a moment, you will see the data counting up. So this is the amount of data which I'm saving just by using Google Maps. So as you can see, I've saved 45% of my data already there. But it's not just maps we compress, we also compress your app data and your web browsing. So let's go to the web browser and we'll go to the world's most popular news website, which unfortunately is the Daily Mail. So as this page loads up, you can see I'm saving even more data now. But to 60% of my data saved so far, and this is just a single web page and one quick look on Google Maps. In terms of the amount of data we've saved so far, up to about 2.5 megabytes of data. Page is just about loaded, so if I zoom in a moment, you'll be able to see the image quality is still there. You can try this yourself now at our website. If you go to datasquasher.com/LeWeb. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.